Hi, everyone. Welcome to this 30-minute sit with me, with Muriel Jaouich. I'm going to just try to make my screen a little bigger. So for some of you, I'm not sure if this came through my little message. Welcome. Gonna do it again. Welcome. And I know that some of you actually are not able to kind of use the chat bar. So welcome if you are not able to. And I'm gonna just wait a few minutes, seconds to see. There's a few more people coming in, and then I will guide us. Hi, thank you, Helena. I'll guide us with a about 25 minutes meditation. I guided this morning in French, and I also offered a poem to start us off. So I might also do that. So if you've just joined, hi, Mélanie. Thanks also for being there. So I'm going to start with this poem, and then we can, and then I'll guide us in a meditation. So if you want to take a position that you feel comfortable, you can be laying down in your bed, on the floor, you can be seated on your cushion or on a chair as I am. So I'm going to share this poem that I actually heard this poem from a teacher, Joanna Hardy, and I was attending a retreat at IMS, and it was such a powerful poem, and so I'm going to share it with you today. It's from Arthur Miller, and it's Take One's Life in One's Arms, from the play After the Fall. I dreamed I had a child, and even in the dream, I saw it was my life. And it was an idiot, and I ran away, but it always crept over my lap again, clutched at my clothes until I thought, if I could kiss it, whatever in it was my own, perhaps I could sleep. And I bent to its broken face, and it was horrible, but I kissed it. I think one must finally take one's life into one's arms. And so I'm wanting to offer this today, that in our practice, if it is possible to consider in our own practice, what is arising that you must take into your arms and kiss. So we can just take a few deep breaths. Seeing if we can really take the opportunity to take some conscious breath. So as we breathe in, really seeing if we can kind of follow the whole in-breath. And as we breathe out, seeing if we can follow the out-breath. And also notice if we can follow the out-breath till the end of the out-breath. Maybe also noticing that breathing is, just kind of happening on its own. So we can even just simply receive actually the in breath and receive the out breath. I'm going to offer a practice which maybe can help us to just come into our bodies if that's somewhere that feels, relatively safe right now. Maybe that can, I think, really help us to just let go of the thinking mind and just really come into, this idea of occupying our own bodies. So we can maybe simply bring our attention to the region of the head. So we can bring our attention to the top of the head, the skull, the hair. Notice presence of hair or absence of hair. Seeing if when we are, kind of gently bringing our attention to this region, if there are any sensations that are present or that becomes, slightly um, that are appearing. And if there are actually no sensations, so we simply bring our attention just kind of knowing that there is head, scalp, skull, hair, no hair. So again, it's just bringing in this just knowing head. We can bring our attention to the region of the forehead. As we breathe into the region, maybe we can, that really is kind of an image, but just feeling the sensation of breathing in this region of the forehead and having a sense of expansion in this region. And as we breathe out, if there's possibility for just a softening, releasing, just kind of relaxing the whole region of the forehead. And we can bring our attention to the region of the eyes. The possible that when we bring our attention to the region of the eyes, there are maybe some, we call them sometimes micro sensations that become apparent. Um, so there may be presence of sensations or there may be absence of sensations. So there's no preference. There's just really the capacity to notice, to know what's happening in this moment. If it's helpful, we can also bring in the image of just allowing our eyes to kind of fall back, into their socket just for the next, few seconds, few minutes. Allowing our eyes to just completely rest. Can bring our attention to the region of the nostrils, the nose, and just feeling the air coming in to the nostrils as we breathe in, and the air coming out. And again, just noticing, maybe noticing what is the temperature of the air that's coming in, and what is the, quality of temperature of the air coming out of the nostrils. And at any moment, we can also feel free to open our eyes as we continue to do this practice. Really giving yourself any permission that you need in this moment. We can continue by bringing our attention to the region of the lips, and just feeling the point of contact, if the lips are touching one another, or if you're feeling the air coming through, if the mouth is open, the air coming out. And as we breathe in and we breathe out, we can also maybe invite this whole region, the jaw, the mouth, to just invite, to completely relax as much as possible, releasing any tension, that we're holding in the jaw, the mouth area. We can even bring our attention inside our mouth and just, becoming aware of the teeth, the tongue, all the different kind of parts inside the mouth. So again, probably not a lot of sensations that are felt here, but there's definitely the knowing. So knowing, that there is a tongue, knowing that there are teeth, knowing that there are gums. Can that be also interesting? And we can continue and bring our attention to the region of the shoulders, seeing if we can, as we breathe into the region of the shoulders and as we breathe out, again, just inviting, knowing that we can't force anything, but just inviting our shoulders to completely relax, and seeing if we can even just, through our intention, just to completely let any of our worries that are held, on our shoulders be released. Anything that is held consciously or unconsciously, just inviting that to kind of maybe just fall away into the ground. And if at any moment, again, in this practice, you're feeling pretty agitated or uncomfortable, feel free to, really check in and maybe open your eyes. That may be helpful. Putting your hand on your heart to accompany yourself, or on the stomach. And just to know that it's completely natural, that the mind is going to be doing its thing. And we do what we can in this moment. And we can maybe bring our attention into our arms and into our hands. And there's a teacher that many of you probably know, Bhikkhu Analayo. He invites us to consider the aspect of skin as we bring our attention to the region of the arms and hands. So just again, just knowing, becoming aware that there is this, envelope almost of skin. Maybe there may be some sensations, that become apparent as we bring our attention there to this aspect of skin. Maybe even feeling the skin touching a piece of cloth if your hands are um, on your legs. So knowing skin in this region of the body. And then we can bring our attention into kind of a layer in, and that would be the aspect of flesh inside the arms, the hands. So again, just knowing, becoming aware that there is flesh, that there are tissues, all of that's, alive inside the arms, the hands, and also even another layer or another aspect would be knowing the aspect of bone. So bones inside the arms, the hands. Often, when we talk about the bones, we refer this to the element of earth, what is solid. So to know that there's, earth inside our bodies in that way. I like this idea, can we know that we are also nature? We are human nature. And we can continue to bring our attention maybe into the region of the heart, the chest, the stomach. And as we breathe in, seeing if we can really feel a sensation of expansion. And as we breathe out, if we can just completely just kind of rest, relax. And again, we can use our hands. That kind of can be a point of contact and just getting a sense of as we breathe in, feeling that we can really take up the space inside our bodies in these regions. And then as we breathe out, we can really just soften, allow ourselves to, to soften. And we can also maybe bring our attention to the region of the back as we breathe in, just kind of again, just taking up that space in the back, knowing that there is, the whole back. We often live, kind of like with the front of our body. So is it possible to really feel just the whole region of the back? Breathing in, breathing out. I like this idea of like, occupying our own bodies. And again, if for whatever reason there are parts of your bodies that do not feel safe or comfortable, please, be really tuned into that. And you can, if it's possible, to redirect your attention to a region that probably doesn't feel so painful. So that could be actually often we will offer maybe the toes, or I can't remember the word in English, but this region of the ears, the lobe. And if it feels relatively safe to be in the region of the back, just kind of, again, just taking up that space, really inhabiting this whole part of our bodies. Even maybe the lateral sides of our torso, just again, kind of breathing in, breathing out, just really including our bodies, having this sense of inclusion of our own bodies. We can continue by bringing our attention to the region of our buttocks, feeling the contact of the buttocks on your cushion, the chair, wherever you're lying down. So, again, just kind of knowing this felt sense of the contact of the buttocks on whatever it's in contact with. And then even letting go of, this concept of buttocks, chair, cushion, and just coming into just the felt sense and bringing our curiosity there. And continuing into our legs, all the way to our feet. And in the same way that I was suggesting with the arms, the way actually Bhikkhu Analayo offers practice is to also bring our attention to the aspect of skin in the region of the legs, all the way to the feet. And again, just kind of knowing this layer of our bodies. And so maybe it's, in contact with whatever you're wearing. And if you're not wearing anything, maybe there is this, just kind of this quality of sense of the air that's maybe coming in touch with the skin aspect of your legs and feet. Maybe depending also where your feet are planted, there's also a contact there. And then kind of going one layer in, so we start to become curious about the aspect of flesh, of muscle, of tissues. So inside the legs, the feet, and maybe also even becoming interested and curious about the aspect of the bones inside our feet, region of the legs, ankles, knees, just becoming really just aware, of all this aliveness inside our bodies, and in this moment, in the region of the feet, the leg. So again, it's just for me, I find it very interesting just to know that we can let go of the thinking mind and become, just as interested in this body, in being in this body. And again, if only this is something that feels safe, um, but letting go a little of our kind of natural inclination to be really fascinated by our minds and seeing if we can really just recalibrate and bring our attention into our bodies to really inhabit ourselves completely. Maybe we can also feel our whole bodies actually at this point, breathing in, feel free to explore that, breathing in, expanding, breathing out, relaxing, resting. And I'll offer the poem that I offered at the beginning for some of you that might not have been have arrived yet. Poem by Arthur Miller, which is titled "Take One's Life in One's Arms" from the play After the Fall. So I dreamed I had a child, and even in the dream, I saw it was my life, and it was an idiot, and I ran away. But it always crept over my lap again, clutched at my clothes until I thought, if I could kiss it, whatever in it was my own, perhaps I could sleep. And I bent to its broken face, and it was horrible, but I kissed it. I think one must finally take one's life into one's arms. So as I ring this bowl, again, I'm just inviting you to really receive the sound. No need to go to the sound. Just know that the sound is arising, in our experience, and that the hearing is happening. Just kind of really kind of getting in contact with that. Sound kind of arising in our consciousness. Thank you. So I will, Jill here, thanks. I will be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock in French, and Jill will be with us tonight, I believe. If I'm not, maybe you can even confirm, Jill. I can't keep up. Oh yeah, the name of the poem is from the play After the Fall, and it's from Arthur Miller. It's called Take One's Life in One's Arms. Indigo. If you want to send an email to, oh, great. Thank you. Yes, Daryl tonight. If you want, Indigo, you can send an email to info@truenorthinsight.org, and I will make sure to send it to you. And you can ask for Muriel's poem. It'd be my pleasure. Thanks, Coral. Okay, good to hear that. Yeah, it is not necessarily easy. I completely understand. So I hope we're all doing what we can, and yeah, see you soon. Thanks. Oh, yeah. And if there is a time, sorry, last thing, that works better for you for an English sit, I'm doing it at lunch, but I could possibly do it in the morning at 9. So, again, maybe just let me know on Facebook or, hi, Sedgkin, or let me know through info@truenorthinside.org. That's it. Thank you. Have a nice afternoon.